Good afternoon from the home of Hell Track, Northwest Calgary, Alberta. Hey, you're gonna notice this is a little bit different than my usual joint. It's because it's not my joint. We're gonna hear a story whether you want to hear it or not. Yeah, that's how I roll. Anyways, when my beautiful wife and I first started dating, clearly I am into riding bicycles. And I wanted her to share that hobby with me, but I wanted her to have something real nice and easy to ride on. Oddly enough, after I had my knee operated on, for our 6-month anniversary, I walked into Walmart and I saw this. I don't shut the video off yet. The only thing left is the frame, forks, and fenders, all right? I don't roll like that. My wife ain't gonna be driving a fucking Hyundai ever. Anyways. Saw this frame from like a distance and was like, wow, that's actually really good looking. Now, if you're not using something building up as a collector item, etc., or for racing or freestyle or a mountain bike, you're not using it to bang on, you can start appreciating bikes on a different level. And for a long time, I wanted to build up a beach cruiser. So I bought her that, and it was all black going out the store. Shit ton of cheap parts, just garbage parts. But what happened is I bought these here pedals, brand new. I got them for that, actually. I'm glad that didn't work out. And when I got these pedals, turned out they were for a 3-piece crank, and I have a 1-piece crank. I didn't check that day. I was just being fast and stupid. So, just like my pads on my white bike, with one part, everything had to be changed. So, I did, what you see here, these are license plate bolts for a motorcycle. And I just redid the fasteners with those. And I thought that was a nice little touch. Of course, I painted the fender bracket and the cups and the seat post clamp. And actually in the guts actually were different for the seat. This was actually the nicest the nicest cruiser seat I could find on eBay. The one problem is it had this big ass blue sticker on the back, and I, with a little bit of isopropanol alcohol and rubbing, I got that thing off of there, so it didn't screw up the whole green thing we got going on here. So my wife got real good at riding, actually pretty good at riding this, like fast actually, because I changed the gearing and I bought everything on eBay except for the stem, which is actually, it's a really, really, really long stem. It goes way down in there, so you can raise this up super high if you want. Got that at Bow Cycle, and again, everything else on eBay. Oh, except the crank. Now there's a wild story about the crank. At the same time I bought her this bike, a little while after, I was doing property management. So I was kicking out skeevy junkies and stuff from these low-end properties. It sucked. It was a hard job. And this one property I walked into was, I kid you not, I went down to the basement and it was armpit deep in stripped bicycles. I'm not even making that shit up. Cops didn't care in Calgary. They really didn't. So what happened is because we're clearing a bunch of shit out. This is one of the last bikes there. And I just saw this sprocket on this, stripped bike. And I thought, hey, that's actually a really nice sprocket. I counted the teeth. I checked the length. Gearing was slightly different, which is what I wanted. And crank was the right length. So what I did is I took a pipe cutter And I literally, this bike that had already been stripped, I had the serial numbers and shit. And I went, boom, boom. And in the bottom, I literally cut all the tubing with a pipe cutter for plumbing. And I took it into the bike shop, the place that sells. It came from a Liv, L-I-V, a cruiser bike. And I took it into the Liv dealer. And that part had the serial number on it. And said, hey, I work property management. I found a whole bunch of stuff. This is a nice bike. I know you guys are the Liv dealer. I decided to hand you guys a serial number. If anybody is missing a bike, this is what's left of it. And they ran the number and they're like, yeah, we don't know. This is no one's bike. Okay. So they took the crank off, put it on this. And that was janky story about the janky crank, right? I mean, I didn't want it to go to waste. I'm not a bike thief. I'm really not. But what has happened recently is clearly I'm all about the BMXs. And a gentleman I work with has actually spent a few dollars on all the parts on this bike. I think the handlebars come to $135 with shipping. And you don't want to know what the wheels were. They were like actually really nice. Oh crap, I don't know the brand, but these were like really nice. I got these from 365 Cycles, which I've got. That is the place I get all my Sun Rhino light rims from. And I did get these cruiser rims from 365 Cycles. And I'm gonna sell it to my buddy Jordan so he can ride with his kids. And $200. Either way. It's almost 7 minutes of me yapping. Oh, this bike light. I jimmy rigged this with there's my knee, with a small wood screw and some Gorilla Glue. I made this light, I made a mount for it and mounted this light, which is pretty cool. However, you don't really see a whole hell of a lot because it's tucked way down in there in the fender. And the Misfits, well, I got that for Christmas for her after I built the bike because it was missing something. She loves the Misfits, and I put that on there. I just, got the sticker on eBay. I asked for a certain dimension and a certain color. It came pretty close to the pedals, and not quite, but she was really, really happy about that. Love that touch. And she got a lot of compliments on the bike, actually. Oh, and of course I bought the bell in town. I looked at every bike shop in town, and best one. And all I did was super glue a mini dice on there. Didn't come that way. So it would match those. Anyways, probably gonna be the last time we ever see this old thing. Nice old bike. It's not, it's got a couple nicks and scratches on it now because of storage. And this thing's like, if you know beach cruisers, they're a pain in the ass. They're take up so much space. But, I was quite proud of how that came out, and I thought it was rather pretty. Again, it was all black. I just changed a few things. And I put the mountain bike bag from Rock Brothers on there. I thought that was kind of cool. You can hold a couple of cigarettes, even though I don't smoke tobacco. In there, a lighter, whatnot. But from the Home of Hell track, right here in Northwest Calgary, Alberta. Y'all see rad, fellas.